Hey, welcome to episode 161 of the Collector's Quest podcast. It's Zelda's birthday! I mean, every year is Zelda's birthday, and 35 it does not feel like an important year. But some people, Nintendo themselves, are talking about Zelda. We're going to do a Zelda episode. We are doing, it's not the top 10, we're doing some of the most collectible and rare and desirable Zelda stuff. It is not one or the other. It is a mix of everything. These are not the rarest Zelda things. These are not the most expensive Zelda things. If you do have hate mail, please send it to Johnny, because it'll be funny. But we want to talk about some cool Zelda things that would be nice to own. So please, give us 5 stars on iTunes, tell your mom about the show, go to patreon.com/collectorsquest, and let's start the show. Back to another episode of Collector's Quest. I'm Tyler, here with Johnny. What's going on, Johnny?
Hey, how's it going, Tyler? Wow, I don't know what happened. I suddenly couldn't say your name. I'm like, how is it going, Tyler?
Johnny, you're struggling here. Full disclosure, this is our second intro attempt. Johnny, we're 35 years has gone by. We're here at this random number anniversary of The Legend of Zelda on Pokemon Day of all days. February 27th, that date we all associate with Pokemon.
I mean, it's an anniversary weekend, right, Tyler?
Johnny, no one cares about my personal life. You are shoehorning my personal anniversary into this for no reason.
No, because it's important to me, because that was the last time we were together.
It was like a week before COVID shut the entire world down. So we're coming up on 1 year, the 1 year anniversary of COVID ruining everything for everyone.
Yeah. So I remember sitting in the airport and reading about this COVID thing that was happening. I'm like, wow, that's pretty scary. And then getting home and being like, oh, they had to shut down part of the Raleigh airport right after I left it because they found someone who came through with it. I was like, oh, that's okay. Well, I hope it doesn't get much further than that. This should all be buttoned up pretty quick, right?
Yeah, I was over in England and I was just like, whoa, dodged that bullet. Am I right, guys? Man, there were a couple cases in North Carolina. Weird. But as we all know, that's all over now. It just fizzled out and everything is fine. And life is back to normal. And video game prices are back down to their 2008 normal levels.
Every collectible is not seriously on fire, even dead TCG games for reasons.
Can I say some prices that maybe you had me bid on of a really dumb thing in Japan?
Sure, go ahead. And then I'll tell you what it sells for on eBay.
You were bidding on a Japanese booster box of the Harry Potter trading card game. This game, by the way, it's so defunct and so like semi-obscure that like Troll and Toad and TCG Player don't carry it. You don't like go and buy the Harry Potter cards from like places that sell singles.
Nope.
So you had me go bid on, it wasn't a sealed booster box, but it was a complete booster box with all the packs in it. And there was like a starter deck on the side.
Yeah, there was a sealed starter.
And you had me bid $240 on it. And I'm like, Johnny, I don't want to have to deal with buying a $240 thing. That's annoying. And I didn't have to worry about that because it went for like $500.
And that went cheap. Let me tell you what an American box sold for on February 15th. $3,000.
Johnny, this is unacceptable.
It went from being like $100 box. And the worst part about this is I wanted to do this like 2 years ago, but just, I had my son and everything's just been, in flames since then. And I just have had no time. So I'm like, I've got this project I want to do. I want to make a cube of this game eventually. And like maybe buy a couple booster boxes just to have so I could, check this game out. I never got to play it. I love TCGs. I'll try this. So this box went from like $50 to $100, the base set box. Now it's like $2,000 on eBay. Like that's what it sells for right now. Chamber of Secrets is the rarest set, and the sealed box for that goes like $3,000, $5,000. It's like all over the map. It's real dumb and it makes me sad. Yeah. prices, for whatever reason though, on this game exploded exactly at the time that my interest and like time lined up. I'm like, okay, I'm going to go do this thing now. Now is the time to do it. Right as I did it, all the prices went through the roof. So that was perfectly timed on my part.
I don't know what it is. If it's just like, if you play trading card games, you're a collector. Like basically by definition, if you're playing a trading card game, you're collecting those cards. So it just puts everyone in this mindset of holding on to the cards and keeping them and having boxes and boxes full of them. Trading card people are just nuts. Like even just the past 2 months, things have gone crazy.
Yeah, Pokemon has infected everything, and Pokemon's been on a downtrend, so I don't even know how this happens.
Is Pokemon on a downtrend? I don't even know.
Well, price-wise, a little bit. Like it's not the fire that it was over the summer, but like still, I mean, still crazy high prices. But man,
yeah. And like ridiculous. Marvel Universe was we probably mentioned that last show. Marvel Universe, there's like cards that sell for hundreds and thousands of dollars, and it's just like this. I'm not going to call it garbage, but it's like a kind of neat thing from people's childhoods that was never worth anything.
Yeah. So the Harry Potter game is 20 years old. It came out in 2001 and only lasted till 2002. It's actually a pretty good game. It was made by Wizards of the Coast, while Pokemon was also being made by Wizards of the Coast, same as Magic the Gathering, So, it was like this. I just wanted to get some of the cards. So now I'm just like buying single slots. So if you guys don't know,
$200 card.
Yeah. There's you want to spend $500 on a Harry Potter card, a single one? No, please don't do that. I'm not going to do that either. No one cares. There's no tournaments. Print a proxy and call it good.
I thought they're bringing it back at Gen Con.
Yeah. They are. They have a revival. There's a whole set thing going on. But I want to talk about just like this project I'm doing, because I'm so tired of dead TCGs. So I was like, okay, I want to try all these TCGs, or I have old ones. So I've just been, if I can legitimately make a cube out of it, and if you don't know what a cube is, if you don't know what drafting is, I can't help you here. But it basically is a draft set that you can repeatedly draft without having to open new product. That's what a cube is. And it's curated, and you kind of make it your own, kind of like a deck, but that you make for everyone to try and play. I like it very much. It's my favorite thing to draft. So with all these dead TCGs, instead of me just putting them out in the closet and being like, man, that's sad, no one will ever play this with me again. I'm like, okay, I can construct it more like a board game, like a draftable board game, and we'll just move on, and I can just have this thing to play, and it won't be stale. It'll be fun. I can bust it out once in a while. So I'm doing this for 7 different games. And when I got to Harry Potter, now I found out it was a wasteland of high prices and, speculators and resale merchants.
I think my favorite thing is that, so I went and looked at the price of a Harry Potter. I don't think Harry Potter is the most expensive card.
He is not.
But there's only one listing on eBay, and they were calling it the Harry Potter rookie card. It's just
yeah,
I wonder what kind of people got into this market.
Yeah, well, it was people, it was like vendors who just picked up dead stock of TCGs, right? So
sure.
of general cards, and they're just like, oh, I got a thing here. Probably old card store owners that went out of business in 2005, and they're like, oh, I still got all this in my garage. Let me just take this out. Make some money off these kids now. Now they got monies.
I was going to tie it back down to something that people are almost interested in on this show that we have discussed on the show before. I went specifically looking for Donkey Kong cards for some reason, because it's always been in the back of my mind, oh man, it would be cool to have some Donkey Kong cards. It's the first American Nintendo trading cards that were produced. So they have the, I don't remember what they're called. There's this Nintendo set that has Mario, Zelda, and all this stuff, and they're dirt common. Every game store has them for a couple bucks a pack, because there's just tons of new old stock of these Nintendo cards. But before that came the Topps Donkey Kong cards. These were a year ago, nothing. December, there was a sale of a sealed box for $50. In January, there was a sealed case, which went for $75 per box in the case. And then recent sales are $400 a box for Donkey Kong cards now. It's if you're paying $400, where were you 2 months ago? Why all of a sudden do you care about Donkey Kong cards? Everyone is looking for the next big thing.
Yeah, and yeah, I think that's like kind of what happened in the Harry Potter thing. Like it's crazy. The thing I like about these cards, despite whatever your feelings are about Harry Potter, it's like pre-movie art, so none of it's influenced by that. It's like purely from like the first couple of books, that they're drawing from. So it's interesting to see those takes, and it was on a lot of the merchandise of that time before like we got into the movie. So anyways, I've talked about Harry Potter far too much, but yeah. Anyways, that was a funny thing Tyler bid on for me and I lost.
Yes.
By a significant margin.
Johnny, it's just past midnight now. It is no longer Pokemon Day.
So we can start the episode proper.
24 years since Pokemon Green and Red came out in Japan, or Pocket Monsters Green and Red. But it is the year of Zelda, 35th anniversary of Zelda, which is, of course, 35 years since Famicom Disk System Zelda, not next year's 35th anniversary of the NES version. I just think it's funny that all these like celebrations of anniversaries, 100% Japanese stuff, but everyone who goes for like first print and everything only cares about American. And Japanese Tyler will go back in his hole, but I'm just saying, we celebrate the real anniversaries when we're celebrating anniversaries.
Yeah, they celebrate the real anniversaries, but the collectors only want the American ones. I don't know. We have a lot of non-American stuff to talk about today. What are we going to talk about specifically in regards to the 35th anniversary? What are we doing here on this big anniversary of the Famicom Disk System Legend of Zelda?
We're going to talk about the rarest.
You mean the rarest?
Not actually the rarest, but a mix of the rarest, the most expensive, and the most collectible Zelda games. So specifically, we're trying to focus on games and kind of limited edition sets and stuff like that, because the world of Zelda is like unfathomably big. Not bigger than Mario in terms of how much like random merch and stuff there is, but almost that big. So we can't kind of go into everything, and I think it's easier to keep it a little bit focused. And we're also going to try to keep it like stuff that someone could maybe reasonably obtain. Like there's one Legend of Zelda US prototype, I think. Like, all right, like if the list was full of crap like that, it would just be a bunch of stuff no one's ever heard of. So yeah, I don't know, people like hearing about the rarest, like top 10 lists on YouTube are the things. So I think this is going to be like our most popular show we've ever done, because people love Zelda and people love easy digest lists.
Yeah. I mean, who doesn't love a list? But marketing says we don't use the number 10 anymore. So it'd be like, here's the 11 most rare Zelda games. Now this number 10 probably isn't the rarest, but it's definitely expensive.
And 2 you think are rare, but actually aren't.
This one little trick will teach you how to get the rarest Zelda games.
I hate that I actively avoid content that might interest me because I hate clickbait headlines. Like if I saw a list that was like top 14 rare Zelda games and 2 you think are rare that aren't, I'd be like, I wonder what the ones I think I rare that aren't are. But I'm like, I'm not going to click that because I hate the title so much.
Yeah, I don't
like rewarding those people.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. But we're doing a list like that, but we'll hopefully give you a little more information than bullshit lists like those.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Oh, I meant to, before we did this episode, I wanted to search for like the rarest Zelda games and compare our list to other lists. Not that one list is necessarily better than another, but
we should just pause and you should do it.
All right. I clicked the first result on Google for rarest Zelda games. Okay. All right, our list is better than this. Never mind. Number 1 on the list, Zelda Majora's Mask Collector's Edition, just the regular version. I think more common than the non-collector's edition, but all right. The collector's edition Zelda GameCube pre-order bonus. Again, something that basically everyone with a GameCube had. A WATA-graded Legend of Zelda with an incorrectly matched manual, I think, or it has some kind of incorrect married part. There's a sealed Player's Choice Zelda Link to the Past. This is just like a list of random Zelda games. It's like he went to the top, he sorted eBay by highest price and just picked like whatever was on top, no matter what. This article was written 1 week ago, by the way.
Oh, I thought you were watching a YouTube video.
No.
Oh, okay, because you know how much I don't know anything about Nintendo except that I don't like him.
but you don't know anything about him.
I know, except like I don't like everything going on there. Also, I hate list videos
YouTube-y?
Yeah, it's too YouTubey. I also hate YouTube videos that don't like, when they give a list, they don't put the list in their description. Like, no, you got to watch this. Also, if your list of 5 things is like 45 minutes long, I'm not interested. Not that he did that, but that's a thing I don't like.
I mean, I usually put on YouTube videos as just background noise. So if someone wants to talk about a topic I'm interested in and just stretch it out for no reason. I mean, that's every
fine,
alpha investments video. He makes a point he could make in probably 45 seconds, and then every video is exactly 10 minutes long.
Yeah, but I was speaking more of the, like, I've only got a list of 5 things. I'm doing like the clickbait article, and then suddenly it's 45 minutes long. I don't love it. I say that as we like meander through every single episode with like very little purpose.
This episode is going to be like 15 games, and it's going to be an hour and a half long, Johnny.
Yeah, the intro's longer than the list. Woo.
Yep.
Okay.
Should we talk about some video games?
Yeah, so let's talk about the first thing that you got on the list, and maybe if you were a cool YouTuber, you might own it and put it on your shelf.
Yes. This is going to be roughly chronological order, I think. So we're going to start at the very beginning with a game we've already talked about on the show, but I think it clearly makes this list. Charamara Zelda for the Famicom Disk System. I guess technically it's called like Charamara, whatever, the Hyrule Fantasy. There aren't nitty-gritty specifics about this contest, but the ramen brand Myojo Charamara teamed up with Nintendo, and they gave away 1,500 copies of Zelda for the Famicom Disk System with a Famicom Disk System, and the Famicom is branded with Charamara. It has a Charamara sticker on it. And these were either given out right at the release of Zelda. There's one guy who says it was released before the retail release of Zelda, and there are Japanese sources I've seen that puts it like plus or minus 2 months from the release of Zelda. So it was like at somewhere around the release of Zelda. It is exactly identical to the regular Famicom Disk System version of Zelda, except that the sticker on the disc is different. It's got a gray label with orange text instead of the beautiful, colorful label that you might know and love. Last 2 sales were $350, and $1,000 was just an eBay buy it now, which was bought by a preservationist to dump it and find out, yes, it is indeed exactly identical to regular Famicom Disk System Zelda. That Frank Cifaldi helped dump that, and then the $350 one was me buying it from Japan. And I haven't seen another one since. So who knows?
I want that a lot. That's so awesome. I enjoy that exists.
It's pretty cool. I would really like to have, it comes in I'm going to call it a lunchbox because I don't know how else to describe it. It looks like a really cheaply made case that holds the Famicom and the game.
Did you get the Famicom with it?
Yeah, it comes with a Famicom. And the Famicom's branded
I didn't
with
know.
the
I thought you
Company.
just got the game by itself. I didn't know.
Oh, no, I didn't get it. I'm saying it comes with it. But yeah, no, I literally, it was just disc only. And the actual contents, all the documentation and stuff is identical to the retail thing. So I just took one of my copies of Zelda and threw it out and put this version with it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's go to the second one on the list. And I mean, I'm not sure.
First print.
Yeah, the real first print, the US one, the one that matters. So this is the TM Legend of Zelda. If you don't know, so it's the first print of Zelda in America. It's got the silver seal, and it's got, the very bottom line of text there. You get to the end and there's either an R if it's the second print or a TM. You want the one that says TM because that will indicate by the front of the box, easiest indicator that this is your first print. The card is 5 screw and it says TM in the top right. Nintendo Entertainment says. The manual says cassette on page 11 rather than game pack. So that's an important distinction if you want to make sure all of your parts.
None of the auctions I've seen show that. So
yeah. It's an important distinction. And, if we're talking about what these go for, it's been all over, right? People, it's been hot and cold. It's gone from, if you want a, mediocre one, $500. If it's on Heritage, that's $1,000 at least, even for an only okay one. And there's only a couple of good-looking ones on eBay right now, and in the solds, and there was $3,000. So the price is a bit all over. Condition is going to weigh heavily on this because in this game specifically, you are competing with the investors, especially for nice ones. So the nicer it is, the bigger the dollars. You're most likely to see these sitting in graded cases in people's collections or, inherited in heritage auction. So it's not exactly that it's that rare, but there's, people, it's going to be bought up. It's not like these aren't going to be sitting on eBay for months and months unless they're super overpriced. So careful on this one.
And like once you hit like the condition that you're gonna want it in, like that 9 out of 10 condition, like there's probably a group of people with literally infinite money who just ignore all the shitty copies, and once it hits that condition, they'll pay like literally anything for it. And that's why there's the $2,000-$3,000 ones on eBay. Both of those buy it nows, by the way.
Hope you buy one now.
Yes, absolutely buy one now. Next on our list, Johnny, we've got the NES. The yellow Zelda test cart, and this is probably one of the least obtainable things on our list here.
Remember when this was like one of the grails on Nintendo Age? People just talked about that. Like, it wasn't that it was that unobtainable. People just had them out. They're like, yeah, I got the test cart today.
So it was like a kind of mysterious thing. So people had these, and no one was 100% sure where they came from. I think it was speculated that they were test cartridges, but no one could prove it. No one had, like, concrete evidence that they were test cartridges. I believe these were the first yellow test cartridges found, which made them even stranger. They're like, what the fuck is this? And so I'm not going to say the best. The easiest to find source is Matt Rose's blog, which I found, which is funny. Matt Rose is the guy on the video game collecting podcast that I called the other guy, which he called me out for calling him that. He said, "Hi, I'm Matt Rose, also known as the other guy." Which
now, do you think this was directly you? Like, do you think
he didn't directly call me out, but he said also known as the other guy, and I'm the one who said that. So
you don't think anyone else had that like going on? Like, you think this was specifically at you?
I think it was 100% specifically at me. No offense, but who is talking somewhere that he's going to see it that is also forgetting his name? It's like the video game collecting podcast doesn't have like Retronauts level listeners.
No, of course not. So I'm just curious if this one gets back to Matt. I would just like him to confirm that it was in fact your fault.
Oh my God,
that had to happen.
Well. So I'd also like to apologize because here I am looking at your blog post for information on one of the things we're talking about the show. And then I went through the Nintendo posts on your blog, and I've looked at 2 of your previous blog posts too, just like randomly Googling information. One is on like deluxe sets, and there was something else about black box games that I've also read at some point in my life. So shout out to Matt Rose, the other guy.
Yeah, I think I've met Matt a couple of times, and I think those were at Portland because I believe he works the booth, usually the NA booth with Josh Byerly. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure. And he was, if I'm thinking of the right guy, which I'm like 90% sure, but who knows? He was like a pretty nice guy. So it was rude that you called him the other guy.
I can't remember everyone's name, Johnny. There's people that I know their online handles that I wouldn't recognize if I walked past them on the street.
100%. All right. So yeah, yellow NES cart. Anything else you want to tell us about this one? Like some prices?
Well, so I know when I first got into collecting and online forums, it was like 2005 and the Nintendo age started in 2007. I remember speculation that like all of these were fake. But I think that it could be, I'm just remembering that because that was before we had more concrete evidence of where they came from. Like, just people didn't know what they were. And since then, in 2007, according to Matt Rose, that's when the Nintendo service centers shut down and we got more test carts that people had never seen, including more yellow cartridges, which was more evidence that these were test carts. And then I just had another conversation with SNK 2D Forever, who said Adam Prager spoke with the person in charge of Nintendo Service Centers, who says he doesn't remember ever issuing Zelda cartridges to those service centers, and they were all like made on their own by employees. They might have been made by employees bored with regular test carts who wanted to make a more interesting and fun test cart to use. I don't know if we know like 100% the full story, but they're not fake, is at least what they are. The one just sold on eBay for $5,100, and it had the top label completely ripped off. So totally affordable and attainable piece for everyone listening to this podcast.
Yeah, 100%.
And I think there's another one listed somewhere for $13,000. without a top label ripped off. Also, is there a 3-screw and a 5-screw variant? I'm almost positive there's a 3-screw and a 5-screw variant, which is funny because it's a specific yellow shell.
That would be weird, but all right. It's Nintendo.
Yeah.
All right, so I guess I can talk about this next one. You guys into Link's Awakening? You know, that Game Boy game that Tyler won't play the remake of?
Yeah, I love the Game Boy game, though. Good stuff.
Man, the remake is so
pointless.
I'm telling you, go play the Switch game. It was so good. It was so refreshingly good. Just go do it. Did you?
I'm not going to play it, though. I'll tell you about it in What Are You Buying?
I just want to choke you sometimes. All right. Anyways, so DMG ZL USA-3 ESRB-E came out in around 1998. This is when Link's Awakening Deluxe was released. The ESRB-E Player's Choice DMG ZL-USA-2 is hard to find in the realm of Link's Awakening. DMG ZL USA-3 is very rare. So this is all stupid ESRB variants, which I hate, and just Dash releases, probably because some ERB stuff changed during that time. So anyways, we got this revision. Tyler thinks that there's evidence that the DMG ZL USA manual and the KA box that it comes with that. So you can look. I don't know if that's true. Tyler, do you want to give me some input on whether it comes with the KA box or not?
I'm pretty sure there's no evidence. So the thing is, there's ESRB Everyone rating came out in 1998, and so Link's Awakening cartridges switched over to the ESRB E at that point. So the Dash 2 cartridge, it comes with a Dash 4 manual, and I believe it comes in a box that says kids to adults, not everyone. But then the Dash 3 cartridge comes with a Dash 3 manual, not the Dash 4 manual. I have no idea what is going on in these factories. And then it also comes in a kids to adults box. The thing you want to take away from this is if you see a gray Link's Awakening cartridge and it has an ESRB E on it, check the actual product code on the cartridge for a Dash 3, because the Dash 3 carts are rare, and maybe that's interesting to you.
Yeah, so if you care about that cartridge variant.
It's so rare that people were looking for a complete in box copy, a picture of a complete in box copy, so they could piece together where this even came from, what it looks like complete. And I think there's one complete copy that there's a picture of. And it's such a stupid minutia thing that kind of who cares? It's is it Player's Choice? I don't remember. I guess no, we got to look this up, Johnny. I can't leave our people hanging.
Okay, you tell me if it's Player's Choice. You gave me alphabet soup to talk about here.
Well, you said you were prepared for the show, Johnny.
No, I also said anything else I need to know on some of these that you were like, no, it's all in the notes.
You're I know everything about Zelda. I
never said that. I did not. Those words did not come out of my mouth. But you definitely did say, oh, it's all in the notes. And then you're like, oh yeah.
I never say. I expect you to study for the test, Johnny. I am not going to. My notes are an outline. It is not the novel.
Dude.
What?
Did you find out the answer?
Yeah, it's Player's Choice. The Dash 3 one's play. If you see an ESRB E Player's Choice gray cartridge, Link's Awakening, look for that Dash 3, buy it, spike it to $400. You guys know the drill. That's the plan. So I kind of feel bad because there's definitely 2 guys out there with a save search who are just going through every copy of Link's Awakening, and I'm at least adding one other person to the mix there.
And why are you doing this to people?
Ruining save searches is great. I ruin my own save searches on this show, so it's great to bring up fun stuff to ruin some other people's too.
Okay, all right. This one we're both a fan of. Talk about this one. I showed you this one the other day.
PAL Big Box Super Nintendo Zeldas. So there's a Big Box Link to the Past, and then there's a Big Box Super Metroid Link to the Past combo.
How good is that? That's 2 of the best games on the Super Nintendo.
I mean, it's pretty
in one big
incredible.
box. That's so good.
You really can't beat it. Not that it makes it less cool, but like Super Nintendo consoles, when they had the super sets, which came with Super Mario World and basically like a dozen other amazing games, those also came with 2 of the best games ever. But these are like a standalone retail thing, way cooler than a super set. So I looked on eBay. The Metroid Zelda combo packs were going for like $1,500 plus. Link to the Past standalone, I could not even find a recent sale anywhere.
No, it's very hard to find.
Which would be the one I want. As much as I love Super Metroid, so much in fact that you might say I would take all Metroid games at the beginning of every game draft we do.
Shut up. Just shut your stupid mouth. Move on.
I also wanted to bring up that the standalone Super Metroid big box seems pretty common. And there are a bunch of these big boxes. I didn't know about these big boxes. I don't care about PAL. I'm sorry, European people.
Yeah, no, they like a lot of them come out of Germany too. Not as many out of UK, but there's some excellent big boxes there. So I think there's like 9 or something. I made a list for Stefan once, and yeah, that combo cart though, so good.
Yeah, it's one cartridge.
No, it's not one cartridge.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, Jesus,
no, let's not
be
crazy.
Get that.
No, but the big box for Zelda is pretty rough to find. So if you're one of these big box collectors, I mean, you can do it, but it's going to cost you some money. You know, it's going to cost you at least $500, I think, in that realm.
Considering the combo cart the combo pack is $1,500, I bet it costs more. But who knows? Just because I can actually find the combo pack, I can't find the standalone.
That's true. So I'm just saying, like in the realm of. Oh man, I guess that is like really low. What is this big box going to go for now? Ugh.
I don't know. I mean, after 2020, like if one hasn't sold in the past 6 months, like who knows? But also, it's kind of this thing where it's like, who cares about it? Not who cares about it, but like who is looking for this besides the people that were already looking for it? It's probably not the people with infinite money. But now there's probably people with infinite money listening to us say this, and they're like, "What? There's an extremely rare version of A Link to the Past."
Yeah, I'm going to say it's probably, I misspoke there. I'm going to say it's probably well over 1,000. Like, well.
Sure. And what was interesting to me while looking this up is that the other big boxes are like not super bad. Like maybe even cheaper than Complete in Box American regular Super Nintendo games like Secret of Mana, Secret of Evermore, Final Fantasy Mystic Quest, Terranigma. Like $100 to $250 for most of these. I think that is pretty neat.
Yeah, it's not too bad. Like, there's a rare Donkey Kong one, too, that's like a pain in the ass, but Zelda is the one.
Oh, Johnny Ho. The outline has some strange serial numbers coming up.
Oh, no. Don't do it. Why are you like that?
Johnny, Zelda's Adventure for the CDI.
I don't want to talk about it.
Why don't you want to talk about it?
I'm just kidding. It's not the worst Zelda game, but it is part of the tragedy that is ever inflicted on us by Philips CDI that got, a couple of hot Nintendo properties like Mario and Zelda in their failed partnership with Nintendo, which should have been Sony, which created their own competition, which slayed their business, in the 2000s and late 90s. No big deal that both Sega and Nintendo created the beast that would eat them alive.
I mean, you mean they created their own competition in the CDI because people were like, oh man, am I going to buy Faces of Evil or am I going to buy Ocarina of Time? What do I do?
No, or the Wand of Gamelon? Yeah, no. Anyways, this is the rare one. So this is the one, it's got a really sparse cover. It's really dark, and it is Zelda's Adventure for the CDI. So the other two, Wand of Gamelon and Faces, they have like a cool slipcase. This is like pretty bare bones. It's just the CD case. For some reason, they're always in the Netherlands. Maybe it was an EU exclusive. I don't know. But they're always like, when I traded for one, it came from the Netherlands. That's how I got it.
So like Zelda's Adventure, there's one copy on eBay at all times, and when someone buys it, another copy will show up for the same price every time. I don't know if it's just like one guy who has all the Zelda's Adventures, but that's where they're coming from.
Yeah, this was when I told you about that Ghost and Goblins I traded, the promo. It was like the Master System one. This was in part of the trade. That's how I got my CDI versions, long and long ago. So here's where it gets dumb, right? So Tyler, in fact, you just do it. You can talk about the stupid version codes on the CD because that makes you so happy what languages are attached to the version codes.
Yeah. Well, there's 2 variants of this. So someone at some
2 variants.
point told me that there was an American variant. This game was announced in America. This game never released in America. So I thought like the American version was like this super rare but inconsequential thing. Like it doesn't exist. I was looking for something that didn't exist. So there is one with a version code of 8100. I'm not even going to say the version codes. There's one with English, German, French, and Dutch. And there's another one with English, Italian, Spanish, and Portuguese. And guess what? We said all these are coming from the Netherlands. Guess what? The one with the Dutch language on it is way more common than the one without Dutch on it. And that's all you need to know if you want the rarest variant of Zelda's Adventure. They both have English, so it doesn't really matter which one you buy.
Yep.
And then
go out there and get it. Whew.
This is on my
super rare one.
So I need to get this, although it's like $800. It was like consistently like $400 to $500. So I mean, it's gone up in the crazy times, but it's always been a very expensive game.
Wow, is it $800 now?
It's $800. There's probably buy it now for like $900 on eBay.
Tell me about the demo.
This is more of a CDI thing in general. I need to get like a CDI expert to talk about this. So if you look for CDI games, you will invariably see these red and white demo discs. People call them kiosk discs. There's a person who refurbishes CDIs. There's a guy. Like if you look for a CDI and you're looking for a refurbished CDI, sort by highest price, there'll be one guy that always has them in stock because he's just buying them low and selling them high. And he includes one of these demo discs with every CDI that he sells, I'm pretty sure, or maybe multiple. It's to the point there's so many of them, like they can't be real. There weren't this many CDI kiosks in America. You can't be like giving them out with every purchase of a CDI. And so there's a red disc for Zelda's Adventure. I am almost positive it's cheaper than the actual game Zelda's Adventure. And there's no like not for resale kiosk thing that is cheaper than the actual game. So I'm pretty sure a lot of these are fake. So I would just be careful if you're buying, if you just see that and you're like, whoa, this must be super rare and exciting.
But there's one online for $600, best offer.
Yeah, like that's cheaper than a copy of Zelda's Adventure. Maybe don't waste $600 on it.
But one just sold for $100 not so long ago. Be careful.
So I don't know. I personally think that like all of them are fake.
Okay.
And just like no one is deep enough on CDI to just know that like they never made a red disc like that.
I mean, there's one guy who is, I'm sure.
I know. Some weirdo. I think VG Collectaholic recently back on social media. I think he has a full CDI set or he's going for one, like with all the movies. Like good on VG Collectaholic for collecting what matters.
Ew, the movies too? Ugh.
Top Gun. I can't remember any other movies that came out on CDI.
Just no thank you. I don't want that at all. All right,
Johnny, the next one is what listener of the show, Joseph Leo, the Fleo, has called the best Zelda collectible, the best rare Zelda collectible.
Do you agree with this assessment? Well, tell people what it is and then tell me if you agree.
No, you take this one, and then I'll tell you.
All right, so this is the Majora's Mask limited edition adventure set. It is limited to 1,000. It's such a hot, rare collectible. There's a specific Facebook group just for the owners. If you want,
I don't think anyone's posted in that for almost 10 years, though.
Yeah, so if you're a fat cat, just know there's a special place for you. Fat Cat Stefan will not be there, though. He doesn't even have this. It's very rare. It's PAL only. What does it come with? Well, it comes with a copy of the game in a bigger box, like a flip-up box. So you like pull the tabs out, it flips open. There's like a little certificate of authenticity. There's a watch in there. There's pins. There's a CD, like the soundtrack, the shirt. And, it's never around. And the price, how much does this gem go for? Well, $5,000 to $20,000 probably. Well, let me tell you about the $5,000 price. Tyler, if I was going to like sell this, if I had it and I was going to like look up the last sold price, I would see $5,000. And where would I see that on?
Oh, I don't know. Is there actually a price for that?
Yeah, on video game pricing charts, right? Video game
No,
price
that
charting?
one's 2,500, but it was from like 10 years ago.
Oh.
So I just put 5,000. I'm like, there's no way this would
okay.
sell for less than 5,000.
Oh, I thought it was 5,000 then. But yeah, the point is, it doesn't sell very often. The data points are bad. Be sure when you look at any of the Game Value Now or price charting that you are checking the last date sold, especially on rare items. Because that thing said 2,500. I thought it was 5,000 in one, but that was 2012. So, 5,000 to 20,000 is the wide approximation. And if there just aren't any available, then it's pretty much going to start to be priced into what can you afford if you have a lot of money and you're looking for this. It's going into that territory. Now, Tyler, I don't care about pins, or it's almost like a prototype version of limited run stuff. And I'm not here to bash limited run, but that's like the stuff you're like, oh, it's got a pin and a certificate of authenticity. It comes with a watch and a shirt, like just weird stuff that I don't care about. Does the exterior box do something cool? Is this the best collectible?
Spoilers.
It's got an awesome name. The name is like a knockout, 100%.
So are there 2 other adventure sets? So, I mean, it's okay. The box doesn't do anything for me. I hate that
Neither.
Japan gets like all these amazing boxes and other countries are just like, here's the Zelda logo on a plain background. And then it just says limited edition adventure set at the top. The box doesn't do anything for me.
Me either.
The only thing it does anything for me is that it's limited to 1,000 and it says Zelda on it. And it's actually a game. So that's pretty incredible because guess what? A lot of people like Zelda.
Yep. And that's why it fetches the enormous price that it does.
Yeah.
I agree with you though. This is not my top Zelda collectible. I like some other Zelda stuff first. Before this.
So this is one like I've always been kind of aware of because it's so coveted. So I think it's got like that.
It's got cachet
behind it. Yeah. It's cool. No, I mean, you're not going to get one. No one on this podcast is going to get one except for like the 2 people listening who are like, I've got one. I'm the coolest collector. And so I'll be jealous of you, but at the same time, I'll be like, who cares? It's PAL. Which is just my way of coping with the fact that I don't have one. Yeah, it's PAL.
Indeed. It's PAL.
Oh, I think there's one. So the 20,000 price came from eBay. I think there's one on eBay right now for 20,000 pounds. So
get it.
You can just go get one.
20,000 pounds. So, which the pound is like what? $1. It's like $1 is like a pound is $1.37 or something like that.
Johnny, I'll tell you a quick strategy I've been using because I did just buy. I'm going to call it a whole fuckload of games from the UK. I just pretend a pound is $1 and it makes it easier to spend money.
Oh, does that
That's
work?
how you do it.
Oh.
Yeah.
So, I mean, like we joke about that being a little more, but what was it? Like 10 years ago, the pound was almost double the dollar.
Oh, yeah.
Rough. Like
I
right now.
I remember growing up, pounds seemed so expensive.
The pound sterling? So official sounding.
You couldn't get a shilling for $1.
What? What are you doing?
I don't know.
What is this accent? I can't even.
I'm not you. I can't do accents. That was my old man accent.
You couldn't get a shilling for $1. Is that what you said?
Yes.
Well, with that accent?
You couldn't get a shilling for $1.
What is this voice?
Are shillings still a form of currency, by the way? Or is that just like Oliver
Lord,
Twist?
1 shilling. 1 shilling, please.
Oh my God.
No, come on. Come on, governor. Let's go. Let's have all night. Anything is better than what you just did. And those weren't even good ones. I don't have it in me right now.
I don't do voices, Johnny. I'm not as good as you.
I love you, Tyler. You're good enough.
Can we talk about this $2,500 sale on price charting? Not because, like, I would believe if one hadn't sold on eBay in 10 years. Probably not. I feel like there's probably like one more. I don't know. There's 1,000 of them. There's not 0 of them. But why is price charting and Game Value Now like garbage right now? And maybe they've always been garbage and I haven't noticed, but like, oh my God, are they missing sales? Like, you go look at any game and you'll probably see like, it's like the most common games on planet Earth are selling like once every 3 days or something. Go look up like The Immortal was one I looked up randomly. Like, it was like the first random thing I typed into Game Value Now. It shows that the last sale was in August of 2020 for a complete in box copy of the Immortal. You go on eBay, there's like 5 sold listings for the Immortal. So what is going on?
Well, do we think that they were getting slammed on their algorithm so much of bad stuff coming through that maybe it just got too tight, so it's not letting in valid sales?
I mean, it could be, but like they've too much bad data is useless, and missing all the sales is useless. So
I agree.
I have been ignoring price charting sites and just doing eBay sold listings, but also at the same time,
2007 again.
Yeah. At the same time, for stuff I really want, I'm basically just ignoring everything and bidding really high because I'm FOMOing everything, Johnny. Don't tell our listeners.
Everything. All right. I won't tell them. Guys, pretend you didn't hear that.
Got another Majora's Mask thing coming up, Johnny?
Woo, yeah, you talk about this one. I hate NFRs.
It is the 3DS Skull Kid Majora's Mask with the statue. It's going to be super rare. You should get a box protector for it. And
Scalpers were so hot for it.
Facetious because I personally don't see much value in collecting re-releases. That's why I'm being facetious. I'm sorry, listeners. I know people love that stuff. We're talking about the gray, not for resale Majora's Mask. I try to be well researched for our shows, Johnny. Johnny, do you know where the gray, not for resale Majora's Mask came from?
A kiosk.
Probably. So there's a gold, not for resale Majora's Mask and a gray one. And the gray ones are way rarer. And they've always been like a super top tier N64 collectible, like up there with Yoshi Story International Edition. And
wasn't there a lot of debate on whether the grays were fake or not?
I'm sure there was, because it sure seems like something that could be faked. But I think they're real, right? I mean,
I don't know. I don't care about NFRs. It stands for no registered. It's
not something I really care about either. I don't actively collect not for resale stuff. But like this one in particular is one I've always been aware of because as I was growing up through collecting in the late 2000s, it's one that people brought up. Like even when N64 was garbage, people talked about this.
They did. No, N64 has like a few weird grails, and this is one of them. And yeah, it's been brought up a lot. Like the NFR set is like people were really hot and bothered for NFR sets on the N64. I don't know why. Like more so than even on the Super Nintendo. For some reason, the N64 NFR set has always been like a thing that people are after and been aware of early in collecting. Even when Nintendo 64 was like not being collected, the NFR stuff was like put on a pedestal and people were into it.
Maybe it's because everything on N64 was just cheap garbage and people were doing anything they possibly could to make collecting it interesting.
Maybe.
And now it's like the hottest thing on planet Earth along with GameCube and NES.
Yeah, I mean, those have started to cool, but it still was ridiculous.
Yeah. So a gold not for resale is like $300. Those sell pretty regularly on eBay. And I put gray $2,000 ? Because I don't think there was a recent sale for one. Previous sales were in the $1,000 to $2,000 range. I feel like they would go for more than that now. So, $2,000. Something extremely expensive for a color variant of a kiosk cartridge. But you'll be really cool if you have one.
How cool will you be?
You'll be like 6 out of 10 cool because it's a kiosk cart.
Yeah. All right.
Better than a CDI kiosk disc, which may not have, most of them may not be real.
Yeah. Maybe not. I don't know. I'm going to tell you about something even lamer than the gray NFR Majora's Mask. Are you ready?
Impossible.
Zelda. Are you ready for this Zelda one?
Oh my God.
It's
Tell
a
me
trailer.
it's a Skyward Sword one.
It's not. I'm not going to tell you now. I don't want to.
Do we not have any Skyward Sword stuff on this list, Johnny?
Well, I'm saving the Skyward Sword Joy-Cons for later. No. This is Zelda Twilight Princess. Speak the words, Johnny. My mouth is bad. Zelda Twilight Princess DS trailer. And what this is, a little DS cart for Twilight Princess, comes in a sleeve, like just got some art on the sleeve and it's tucked in.
It's like the size of a CD, right?
Yeah, it's like a CD sleeve. And the little DS cart is just tucked in there and it was like limited to 500. That's the That's the rumor anyways. I don't know if that's true. And it goes for bucks. I don't know exactly how many. I can tell you I've lost an auction for it multiple times, 4 that I've counted. I lost one at like $200, $300, and the last one I lost was at like $400. And then once I realized it was around that price, I stopped caring. So I don't know how much it is now, though. It's like it doesn't show up very often. So, you know, if you want this, it's not a game though. It's just a trailer for Twilight Princess, which is neat because that's not a game you would see on the DS, but you can watch the trailer in like really shitty resolution and bad frame rates right there on your DS. It's like GBA video.
That's pretty cool.
It's neat.
There's one on eBay without the sleeve for $3,000.
Yuck.
So that's pretty cool.
Nope.
Don't buy this without the sleeve. I don't care how cool and how rare it is. A loose DS cartridge is the saddest thing.
Yeah, absolutely don't do that, please. Please, guys, don't. Like, just spend the other money. Just spend whatever. Like, if you're spending that much money, like, don't on that. But if you got that much money to blow on something, just save it for a little longer and find one with the sleeve. You
know what? I know we tried to make this list all games. I'm going to say if you're going to spend $3,000 on a Zelda thing, I don't care if this is limited to $500. Spend that $3,000 on one of these other amazingly rare or exciting things. Put it towards the big box Link to the Past.
Yep. Anything else? Yucky. All right. Anyways, your turn.
So going in chronological order, I wanted to give a shout. This is not chronological order because this game came out after Wind Waker Metroid Prime. Japanese GameCube Twilight Princess is not by any stretch of the imagination a rare game, but in the continuum of Zelda games, which are all multi-million blockbusters, the main Zelda games, I believe Japanese GameCube Twilight Princess is the rarest Zelda game. It has VG charts, which sketchy site, I think it's based on NPD data. It says 40,000 copies. That seems way too low to me because these aren't hard to find at all. But I just thought it was an interesting fact. If you want to get the technically rarest mainline Zelda game, I believe that's it. And I guess that's just because literally the entire country of Japan bought Nintendo Wiis.
Yeah, I mean, well, everyone bought Wiis, right? That's the thing about the Wii.
Wiis, yes.
Yeah, that's.
And the Japanese gamers were not willing to settle. And maybe in Japan they didn't have that weird thing where people are like, "Oh, they changed which hand Link uses. This is no longer a real Zelda game. I'm playing the real version, the GameCube version." Because I remember that was a big thing when Zelda was released.
Yeah, I mean, I really wanted to try the motion controls because that's like what you were doing it for, and some of it actually wasn't terrible, which was surprising.
We talked about this. I am not bothered by the Twilight Princess motion controls. Skyward Sword I can barely play, but I have fun playing Twilight Princess with motion controls.
The best thing about the announcement, and the thing that upset me the most about the announcement, was the order in which they said things. They're like, and you can play with motion controls we built into the Switch. And I was like, okay, I'm dying inside. I want to die. I'm never replaying this. And then they're like, or you can just use buttons that we programmed in. And I was like, there it is. Thanks, guys. Like, you should have led with that. To me, that's bearing the lead. You should be like, hey, we fixed how shitty Skyward Sword is and put some buttons in there. And if you're a monster and you want to play with motion controls, we added that in too.
I don't think Nintendo is going to say that about their game.
Probably not, yes. But that's like really what they should have said.
I know we're getting off topic, but I'm interested to see how Skyward Sword would play using the right joystick as the sword, because I think it would be way better, because a lot of my problems with the fidelity of the Wii Motion Plus, like when I needed to swing up and down, like my arm would go the wrong way and I would do a diagonal slash. But at the same time, that game is so long and so full of like annoying minutia tutorial nonsense, like every step of the way. It's just like, here's a pop-up, let me tell you exactly what to do, you fucking idiot. So
yeah, like really until you what's like the little spirits that's in your sword's name? I forget.
I don't even remember. Fiona?
Shiva? I don't remember. But until like you get her out, like till that part happens, you're just in a tutorial, and it feels like it's 10 hours.
No, the whole game is a tutorial.
Yeah, like, and anytime you go to do something, they like remind you, and you're just like, please stop. I've been playing this game for a while now. Also, Link sounds really annoying. Anytime he does something, it's like, oh God, please. Yeah, I know I got hit. Please shut up. It was so shrill. Ugh.
Graphics are really nice, and I like the little stealth sections that they randomly put into a Zelda game. Everyone hates those. I kind of liked them.
Yeah, did not like it. Didn't like flying around. Sucked.
It's almost like every Zelda game has a sort of overworld that you kind of run around in and actually explore in, and not just a big world map that's an empty sky, and you just like, oh, I guess I fly to the level and there's a load screen. Anyway, enough complaining about Skyward Sword, because it's not even on this list, Johnny.
Yep.
I wanted to say Japanese GameCube Twilight Princess. It's like $60, which is expensive, but I don't know.
Yeah,
Johnny,
tell Joy-Cons. Hold on, the Joy-Cons we're talking about, those were like going to be $79, but right now they're all sold out, and you know they're going to be $150. Get them quick.
$79. What was the? All right, let's go back to Skyward Sword. Intentionally not on this list. What was the controller bundle for Skyward Sword?
Oh, it was like $10 more than the regular one.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
$10 or $20 more.
Okay, like $80. So now you just get the controllers. And I bet the game, because it's like, it was from Wii, I bet the game was $50 on Wii, and now you're going to buy the game for $60.
Yeah, you know what else I don't like? I know they're like trying the I don't mind the blue, and that's more in line with what they did with like Hyrule Warriors and stuff. But when I think of Zelda, I do think of gold. So I was expecting something gold. And then I got blue. And it just reminds me how disjointed Skyward Sword is and how much I'm not interested.
Okay, so they have not made a Zelda Switch yet. And they don't have Zelda Joy-Cons except for these? Yeah. So they're not going to blow their load on Skyward Sword. They're going to wait for Breath of the Wild 2 is when it's going to go crazy with the limited edition nonsense, I think.
I hope so. I mean, yeah, I hope so. I expected there to be, since a launch bundle with that, and they didn't. I was really disappointed. Anyways, we don't need to talk about that. Let's talk about anything else you want to say about this $60 game?
Move on to the crowd pleaser GameCube game.
All right, got you a Wind Waker, you got you a Metroid Prime. You got them together in one bundle that came out in 2005 around Christmas. If you do, you got about a $500 game sitting there. Yes, it's the Wind Waker Metroid Prime bundle, or the Metroid Prime Wind Waker bundle, depending on where you're looking on the stupid case. It is not consistent. It is a thing I hate very much. It flips. It doesn't know what it's doing on its spine compared to the back, compared to the front. It's awful. I don't know why anybody didn't just take a look at this and say, maybe we shouldn't send it out like this. This is kind of terrible, guys. They're like, no, it's fine. Ship it. Awful. But it is a cool bundle, and again, this is like one of those things. If you harken back to that Super Nintendo bundle with Zelda and a Metroid, you got another Zelda Metroid bundle? That's crazy good.
So good. You might even say it's the second best Zelda and Metroid bundle.
Yeah, definitely. Because Wind Waker on the GameCube was not my favorite. I liked it much better in the HD remake. They just fixed traveling.
Nope. You can't fix a game. Don't ever re-release games. And
nope, you can fix it, and you should.
There's my stance on that.
No, it's like how Skyward Sword, you're just up in the clouds and the world map sucks. That's the same thing as Wind Waker, except it's all water.
John, like if they re-released Skyward Sword and they gave it an overworld and like 100% remove motion controls, it's just like a Zelda game, and they removed all the tutorial crap. Then there's like this weird re-released version of Skyward Sword that I don't know how to feel about. Because it's like, oh, wow, it's this better version of a game I really don't like. And now I don't know.
That's Wind Waker.
It's like Star Wars Special Edition. It's like,
no, because this is actually better.
I don't know, Johnny.
Okay, well, Tyler,
you have to come up with some argument to change my opinion on this one day. But anyway.
Well, because as a collector, your focus is always on the original. But if we're talking about strictly playing the game, you just want the best one. So I've told people that they should buy the greatest hits a lot of time, especially on old media, because that means a lot of the stuff was fixed. You had a bunch of broken things. The latest version usually has the best fixes, unless you don't want those fixes or additional content. Like with modern consoles, wait till the Game of the Year comes out with all the stupid DLC you didn't get. that's going to be the one to play, even though both of them are probably going to be $10. So who cares, if you're buying them used. So it depends what your perspective is, collector or playing the game.
I like playing original versions even as a non-collector, Johnny, because they remake plenty of games.
Yeah, but you also like I love Final Fantasy 1. I'm not going to go back and play the Nintendo version. It's god-awful. Or the Famicom version.
You've already played that version. Like, what if my only experience with Final Fantasy was like a DS remake? Like, I want to know, it's really shitty that I have to use all these like weird items that have 4 letters in their name and I don't know what they do and I have to look it up. Like, that's part of the experience. I want to have that experience so I can connect with everyone who's played that game before.
No, Tyler. Like, you're so... Like, you want to connect with a bunch of old men? You, as a small child, are like, I really want to see what these old men felt like. That's weird. That's a weird statement coming out of my mouth. I don't like that. All right, let's move on.
Oh, I guess we always mention it, but literally the only thing unique about Metroid Prime Wind Waker is the insert in the case. So if you see any copies where they're like, everything's here except for the insert, it's like $20 worth of garbage that you're buying, not the cool bundle thing. So next on our list, I believe, is the rarest thing on our list, Johnny.
Oh boy.
It's the Minish Cap limited edition adventure set, and we actually missed the Oracle of Seasons limited edition, which Oracle of Seasons, Oracle of Ages limited edition, which was also over in Europe. But we're going to talk about Minish Cap limited edition adventure set, limited to 300. You bought it from Club Nintendo in 2004. I have no idea how you bought it. I imagine if you bought like an ungodly amount of Nintendo games that you would have enough points to buy this, something like that. But it comes in one of these big boxes, and it's got a beanie. It's got a GBA SP. It's gold. It has a Triforce on it. It comes with a game. I think the game is loose, like it's not even a boxed copy of the game. And there's one on eBay right now for £5,000.
I thought so. The box that's in there is the same as like that other one when we talked in the 5 Golden Things 5 Golden Things episode. I thought it was the same box in there. It's like a square box that comes with the SP, and then the game should be packed inside with the SP, the gold SP with the Triforce on it.
What? So the game like comes in the console?
In the console box.
Okay. I don't know what square, but what box are you talking about, Johnny?
The box that houses the SP. So they took that that version. Wait,
are you looking at a copy of this?
Yeah, I think so. What the Minish Cap adventure set, right? Like, doesn't it come? I thought you sent me a picture of it. Am I thinking of the wrong thing?
I don't know, but like it comes in a big box, and the box has compartments. One of the compartments has a GBA, one has a charger, one has a beanie, the other has a t-shirt.
Really? What am I thinking of? I thought it came with the console boxed into that box. Maybe, so is the console loose in there? I mean,
pretty much
insane?
The console is just loose in there, and I don't see a spot for the game, so I assume the game just came packed into the GBA.
And this is $5,000. You said, where? I'm not.
Are you sure you're not thinking of the one that's like limited to 7?
Maybe I am.
Because there's the 24 karat gold GBA is the one you talked about in 5 Golden Things. That one is like impossibly rare. People didn't even know it existed.
Yeah, well, but the golden ticket in that one came in the one that was like limited to like 5,000 or something. In like a very square compact SP box. Or 10,000 or something. I don't know. Now, I'm sorry. You're just gonna.
Okay, hold on. Are you thinking of the Zelda limited edition pack that comes with the console and Minish Cap, which is also very expensive?
Yes, that's what I'm thinking. It has that square box, just built into it. Okay, yes, that's what I'm thinking of. I'm like, am I crazy?
A different console bundle, also very fancy and expensive. This is like the better version of that because it comes with.
Oh, okay.
It comes with the GBA. It comes with the game, but it comes with like a bunch of garbage with it. Kind of. I mean, no offense to Minish Cap. Minish Cap's a great game, but kind of the best thing about this is numbered to 300, and also probably impossible to get because Club Nintendo stuff is so arduous, and all of it sells out instantly. So
true.
There's one on eBay. There's one on eBay right now for £5,000 for this Minish Cap thing. Considering it's like the rarest Zelda thing,
pretty good.
It's similar to other Zelda things that are also very rare, but I mean, is an official Nintendo released Zelda thing of like a high quality Zelda game, not like a BS game. So I mean, don't spend $7,000 on a video game, but at the same time, more reasonably priced than things like not for resale Majora's Mask, and even the Majora's Mask adventure set, which is maybe more than this.
Yeah,
cool. Sucks to be a handheld. No one wants your handheld stuff, and by no one wants, I mean no one has bought it at $7,000 yet.
Not yet. Give it a day.
I mean, we'll wait for this to be released, and then someone will be like, "What? Limited to 300? Buy it now. Put that on the credit card, please." Could sell that for $9,000 at the end of the year.
Probably the next day, the way prices have been going.
Yep.
All right.
Editing Tyler here. Just an update. Like a week after we recorded that episode, someone just clicked bin on the 5,000 pound limited edition Minish cap thing. So I guess that's the price now. Not even in like great shape. It has like a dent on the front. It's got scratches on the front. Craziness. Or I mean, not craziness, because we're talking about on the show how it's so much rarer than even the ultra rare Zelda stuff. So I don't know. Cool. Neat data point.
I'm going to talk about the coolest one. The coolest.
Oh, here it is.
This is the one you want. This is it. If you're buying one Zelda item, you need to be buying one that doesn't even have Zelda in the title. It's called Hyrule Warriors for the Wii U. You guys familiar with that? It comes in a limited. Oh yeah, well it was this Nintendo console that everyone thought was a Wii, but it wasn't actually a Wii, and it had like a weird gamepad, which I really liked. You could like play your game on sometimes. I don't know. You could have had like DS games be transferred over to it. Really, it would have been great, but instead, it's a failed console that everything on it has now been ported to the Switch. Anyways, so this is the limited edition box. If you don't know what the Nintendo store in New York had two limited edition boxes for the Wii U. One was Mario Kart 8. This was the Hyrule Warriors one. It came with a scarf. Like the limited edition, like this box, the Japanese box looks very similar. Also comes with a scarf, much cheaper. This was sold out day one in New York City. I don't know how many were actually issued. People say only a couple hundred, but like, I don't know if that's true or not, or 500 or 5,000. They don't release those numbers. I think it's got to be more than a couple hundred, but who knows? Did sell out in one day, and they're not that desirable right now on eBay. They can be pretty expensive, but I think this is one of those things over time that will pick up steam.
Well, it's got to be more than a couple hundred, because there's a couple on eBay, and if they were like that incredibly rare, they would probably not be on eBay.
No, I agree, but you know how people say that 500, and then like when they talk about print runs of a rare game, they're always 5,000. They just these five numbers that they just throw out there like it's fact. Yes. You're just guessing.
I mean, the reason it's not super, super desirable is because it's Hyrule Warriors. Can you imagine if this was Wii U Breath of the Wild? This game would be like...
Oh, it would be...
it wouldn't make any sense, because I think the Wii U version of Breath of the Wild was released like 3 days later, something ridiculous. But yeah, if this was like a real Zelda game, even if it was Skyward Sword, like, sorry, a real Zelda game, not Hyrule Warriors, even though Hyrule Warriors may be a better Zelda game than Skyward Sword. Also, like, Mario Kart 8 is their other release, and it's like, yeah, Mario Kart 8 is cool, but again, it's like Wii U, and it's like, Mario Kart, it's just like not Super Mario 3D World. I don't know.
But I don't know. Mario Kart is a top tier franchise.
It is.
And Mario Kart 8 is great.
Oh, no, I know. It could just be that, my nostalgia is with 64. Your nostalgia is probably with Super Mario Kart and 64.
It would be with the Super Nintendo, where it actually released.
Yes. The first edition of Mario Kart, Johnny, the important one.
Yep. That some recent investors aren't all over yet. Buy it now.
Buy it, click it. There's got to be a sealed WATA one somewhere. Buy it now. Put it on a credit card. Oh, so this is going off memory, but I believe that people lined up for this, and the slots to obtain one were like, they were gone by people lining up at like 3 a.m. So you can imagine a New York City block full of people, full of however many people you think it would take to be sold out by 3 a.m.
That's so ridiculous. Can you imagine? And then, like, who wants to be out, 3 a.m. in New York? Like when No.
I mean,
what were they thinking?
The hardcorest of the hardcore to line up for Hyrule Warriors, a game that was announced, and I like rolled my eyes so hard into the back of my head. Like, can you imagine the same kind of hype for like Cadence of Hyrule? Like, I don't. It's just like a weird Zelda spinoff. But all right.
Yeah.
Shout out to our friend Hyrule Vise, Andrew, who has been trying to get rid of one of these for a long time so he can invest that money into better games. Oh, sorry, Andrew. I mean, this is a great collectible that is underappreciated right now as it sells for thousands of dollars.
I mean, I think Andrew made his money on one already, so I think he's okay.
There are 0 sold listings. Do you know what these actually sell for? Because the cheapest one on eBay is $3,500 and no one is buying it.
I don't know, like, for real. I would have imagined it at around $1,500 to $1,800.
Okay, so like the Zelda Twilight Princess DS trailer, I'm going to say take this money and invest it into a better Zelda game. But also, this is like super big and flashy, so everyone on your YouTube channel will know you have one if you have one of these, because the box is enormous.
I mean, I think it's cooler than that, right? I think...
You think?
Yeah,
you're.
I'm not trying to undersell it.
Okay.
I think it's pretty cool.
It's no Zelda DS trailer.
No.
Mostly because the box art is pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, it does feature Link very prominently, like slashing his sword.
I think I said this when the game came out, but I just bought it today. I bought whatever the new Hyrule Warriors is called, Age of
Calamity.
Decadence, whatever it's called.
It's Age of Calamity.
Age of Calamity. I literally just bought it to have the box art because that box art's so good.
Yeah, I have it, so it goes with all of my Hyrule Warrior stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't bought Cadence of Hyrule. Cadence
just
of
bought
Hyrule
that
yet.
today too. I went on like a why don't I own these Zelda games kick today is what I did, and I went over to Best Buy and I'm like, what are all the Zelda games I don't own? That
Whoa,
just
you went
came
to
out?
a store?
Well, I'm at BestBuy.com.
Oh,
and then I saw that okay, you want my real process? I went over to Best Buy. I saw that their prices were like 3 cents less than Amazon. And I'm like, all right, I'm just going to buy it on Amazon. Johnny, what's our last one here?
That's for you to talk
release.
about. This is you. This is the one you're all hot and bothered for. And I'm mad that I didn't get because I'm
a little hot and bothered for it.
Breath of the Wild Switch Master Edition.
The Master Edition.
Quote unquote, very limited. And it's gigantic. The box is kind of awesome, though. I will give, like, if you need a showpiece in the back of your YouTube video, this is the one, right? Because it's gigantic.
It is.
So it comes with the Master Sword in a little stand. It comes with the game. What else did it come with? Is that it? The Master Sword statue in the game?
Does anyone care, Johnny? It's about having that big box.
I don't know.
I think it comes with a case for the Wii that looks like
the Selka
the thing.
Yeah, which is actually an awesome case because I have the lesser version. I don't have the basic version, but I got the one that came with the collector's edition or whatever. Because there's 3 versions, so it was the basic version, collector's edition, and the master edition. So I got the second version because I couldn't get the Master Edition. If you guys don't remember, when this thing came out, it was a hot mess. People were so mad. Pre-orders were like canceled. There was a lot going on. People were mad.
So I was in it. Like I was trying to get one. I had like whatever that website is that refreshes stock everywhere. Yeah. And like people like Reggie was like making statements, I think at the time, like, we might make more. And then it's just like, it, we're not making more. These are rare as go get them. And by rare as there's probably like tens of thousands of them.
Yeah, I mean, at least 2 went to every Best Buy in America. So, that's just one store. So,
well, it was like $150 or $180, I remember, and like immediately they went up to like $400.
Yeah, boom,
and I was like, "This is ridiculous! It's Zelda. They must have made like a ton of them. This will go down." And over the years, just like they're on eBay, like people are buying and selling them all the time. It's not like incredibly rare. Consistently selling for like $400 forever.
I mean, I want to see, like, I want to get one locally because I don't want that thing shipped.
Well, maybe I just bought one and had one shipped, and we'll talk about it on the show, Johnny.
Oh, wow! Tell me how that went. All right, I kind of want it still too. I don't have it though.
Can I say something else, Johnny? This comes with a Breath of the Wild Nintendo collectible coin, one of those brass coins. Can you tell me what is going on with these collectible Nintendo coins? I just learned that there's one for Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
How do you get the coin?
At Super Mario Galaxy?
Yeah, I think that was like the first big one that everyone had that stupid coin in the box.
They're all the same size. They're all the same material. At least they look like it. Like some of them come in boxes. Some of them come in limited editions. Some of them come in little shitty baggies that you get when you pre-order a game. But like they're clearly supposed to be part of this set, right? What's going on? No one, like Nintendo doesn't hype these coins as being important or anything. No one's posting their Nintendo coin collection, but they keep giving us these stupid coins. Are these going to be exciting to have in 20 years? Are people going to be like, oh, remember in the 2000s, you got all those Nintendo coins? Yeah, those are sick.
Yeah. Well, let me tell you that if you ever want to go into the collectible coin episode, I've done some legwork on some like weird ass coins that are available in video games for modern consoles. Here's what you need to know. They're not interesting. Please stop it. Don't collect those.
We're getting real off topic. There's a guy I saw on Reddit who 2 years ago, I believe, got the Guinness World Record. Guinness means absolutely nothing. Don't support Guinness. They're a bad company. But he got the Guinness World Record for the world's largest collection of video game coins. And he only collects like promo coins and stuff for video games. And he just, obviously he has a fuckload of them. So he's the guy who's
75.
Well, no, I don't remember how much it is. It's 1,019 as of 2 years ago. Like, where do all those coins even come from?
I don't know.
Oh my God. It's like, it literally looks like he's standing in front of like your childhood Pog collection and he has it all laid out on a table. It's awesome.
I mean, I'm kind of interested in seeing it. You know what was weird? Like back to Bowser's Fury, like the collectible that Target got with it was the water bottle and people went nuts for it. You know what I don't want in my house? A water bottle. Another one. Not interested. It's a bad collectible.
I bought Bowser's Fury like 2 weeks after it was released and I got nothing with it, Johnny. Was I supposed to get something? Should I have just pre-ordered it? What are pre-order bonuses?
If you pre-ordered it, you could have got the water bottle from Target.
Could I have got a coin? The coin exists. I probably could have got it, right?
Yeah, probably. If you were in Europe, you could have got a sweet steel book.
Well, I'm not in Europe, so yeah. I don't need that. Oh my God, what is this? Oh, what? Johnny,
are you looking at the water bottle? How dumb it is?
No, I went on eBay and I looked for the Mario 3D World coin, and the first listing is over $100, but it's a buy it now.
I'm like, whoa, temper your enthusiasm.
Oh, wait. Oh, is this a Canadian exclusive Nintendo coin, Johnny? Whoa, it's worth like $20 to $30.
Whap. Canadian exclusive.
We're changing gears, guys. We're talking about the hottest modern Mario coins that you can buy. Everyone is sleeping on this Canadian exclusive Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury coin, and I think that this has potential to enter the coin market on Heritage Auctions.
I just have a question. Kat, if you're listening, can you get me this coin? Man, this is such an opportunity to make fun of Canada, eh? Can you get me some of them there Mario Bowser Fury coins? I gotta put them in my collection, eh? That's the one for me.
Johnny, why? So these coins, like some of these coins come in like those plastic baggies, and like you're collecting shit. They know that these are going to collectors. Like no one wants to open the plastic baggie. You spent all this money. You spent probably like 10 cents making this little blank coin into a little Mario coin. Let me touch it. I just want to touch it. I'm not opening the baggie. I can feel how heavy it is. That's nice, but it still feels like a shitty plastic bag. Make it a box or make it resealable or something. Let me touch the coin.
Just put it in the case. Just pack it in with the case.
Sure. Just start throwing coins in all the games.
I mean, it's not like the Switch games have a bunch of room in them.
Well, as we're talking about this, I'm like, we don't even get manuals anymore. So what am I talking about throwing in coins with games?
Anyways. All right, Tyler, anything else you want to say about the coin or any other collectible Zelda games? I think we have a few more, right?
Well, I will say about Breath of the Wild, get that first print Wii U version. The Wii U, the first print of it has Wii controllers on the back of it rather than just showing the Switch Pro controller, whatever it shows. Probably, it's really hard to talk about rarity with Zelda games because every Zelda game in the grand scheme of things is unfathomably common. But maybe on par with Master Edition for how rare it is to find that. I don't think anyone cares about that. It's the Wii U version. I don't think anyone will ever care about that. But it's something interesting to know about. And then, so before we did this show, I talked out to our Patreon or patron,
Woo!
one of those, Def
Patron.
Code, who keeps track of Zelda variants, because I wanted to make sure we're not missing anything big. And he gave us... What was up?
Because he's a boss.
He is a boss. And so he filled in some of the information that we just talked about, and then he gave me a big fat list of stuff that just like, dude, who cares? But thank you for letting me know this stuff exists. And Johnny, I don't want to talk about this stuff with you. Interrupt me if there's something you find interesting. But I do want to run through this because someone will be like, I haven't heard of half of this. So
I'm not gonna say anything. Go.
Ocarina of Time 3D on the 3DS, the Nintendo Selects version, when it was sealed. If you see it sealed in a red case, that was only sold at the Nintendo store in New York City. Once it's opened, you could just swap the case, but sealed Nintendo Select, whatever. All right, there are Nintendo refurbished variants. These have been sold on the Nintendo store. I just bought something I bought the Mario keychain from the Nintendo store, and I didn't see any refurbished stuff right there. But they used to sell refurbished things that had special inserts. So, Skyward Sword, Spirit Tracks, Wind Waker HD, Ocarina of Time 3D. Oh my! There's Zelda games that have this Nintendo refurbished product. Some of them are stickers, and some of them are printed directly on the insert. If you collect that stuff, you already know. It's kind of interesting. Whew. Legend of Zelda, A Link Between Worlds, the not-for-resale E3 demo. There is a not-for-resale copy of Link Between Worlds. It's pretty common. It's worth like $50. It has a sticker on the back that says some not-for-resale crap on it.
50 is high. It's like 15.
Sure, it's not worth very much. The E3 demo, same front, different sticker on the back. Someone sold it for $1,500. I don't know, man. Zelda stuff. Most interesting thing we didn't talk about, Legend of Zelda, Oracle of Ages and Oracle of Seasons limited edition. It's another one of these crazy rare PAL limited editions.
Super cool.
This one came with a boomerang. The box art's awesome because it's just the two Japanese box. Is it the American? Like, it's all the same. Those box arts aren't different. Anyway, there's 500 of these. I think it costs $4,000 and up. There's only 500 of them, so go have fun getting that. We talked about the Nintendo Game Boy Advance SP that's made of 24 karat gold. There's like 7 of them and only 2 are known to exist, and like 1 was like found by happenstance or something, right?
Yep.
Crazy. There was a Mexican GameCube bundle with Metroid Prime and Wind Waker. I don't care. This is a console bundle. There's so many Zelda console bundles we didn't talk about. Apparently it's estimated between 1 and 5,000 were made, and they're rare, but you don't care because it's a Mexican console variant. Game & Watch blister variants. Def Code, I don't care, but since you typed up like 5 paragraphs on this, I will at least mention it. There were at least 3 production runs of the Nintendo, the ZL65 Zelda Game & Watch. And I guess it was first distributed by Pocket Size, and then later versions were micro games. If you're a Game & Watch person, you will know way more than me. I can't even talk about this, but I guess just know that exists. And then he talked to me about all of these not for resale ones, NES not for resale stuff, like Nintendo employee not for resale stuff, Link's Awakening employee not for resale, some weird Link to the Past not for resale that's probably a Nintendo internal employee stuff. This is why we had to limit what we're talking about in this episode, because with Zelda stuff it just never ends. And that's it. Those are a bunch of super rare and collectible Zelda things, Johnny.
All right. That's most of this we talked about is in the world of obtainable, but there are definitely a few that are stretching that definition.
Oh, yeah. I mean, yeah, we definitely talked about stuff. Do I have any of this? Well, I have a bunch of it, but like not the really rare stuff.
No, I mean, I have a few of the things, but not.
Oh, wow. I don't have like a lot of this. So I just got the Master Edition. And other than that, I think all I have are the Famicom game and the NES game.
Well, I have Zelda CDI.
I need to go get that.
Yeah, that's like pretty obtainable. I have Wind Waker, Metroid Prime. I've got the Hyrule Warriors Limited Edition.
Oh, you've got one of those? You're so cool, Johnny. All right. Yeah.
Well,
you know why I know you have that? Because it sticks out like a sore thumb in your game room photos.
it does not, because it's not in any of my game room photos. It is literally in my shame room.
Oh, is it? Has it always been in your shame room?
It has.
All right. I'm misremembering, Johnny. Now I'm going to go through your entire Instagram and try to find a picture of it.
You can. I mean, it's not like I didn't take it out and take a picture of it, but where it lives is not like if I turned on the camera and started streaming right now, you would not see that anywhere in here. Right. You would see a wall of Zelda stuff over here and not that. Instead of displaying that, I'm displaying the Zelda treasure box full of strategy guides. There's also like one strategy guide that like was like right after that box and wasn't well bought that got expensive. I forget which one it was for, but those were like all the leather bound or hard bound like strategy guides that they did, and they got really expensive. Kind of annoying.
Was that a PAL exclusive thing, that treasure box?
No.
Okay, no, Amazon. I don't know what you're talking about. Johnny, you have an embarrassing amount of boxed Wii U consoles. What are you doing?
I like the Wii U, okay?
Man, you've got like the Target Game Boy Pocket Ice Blue console. That's pretty rare. Yep. Johnny, you've got some good Zelda stuff. I'm just gonna say.
I like Zelda a whole lot.
I don't know if you know, but I like Metroid, Johnny.
Shut up. The thing is, they don't make very many Metroid collectibles. So, like, to get, like, a few, like, sweet Metroid items, I wish I would have got the DS while it was still, or 3DS while it was still reasonable. But, like, I had to go buy, like, a fake one, the Hyper Metroid with, like, the cool stand and everything, so I could have it. And I had to buy, like, the figure of, like, the Metroid. So I just had some Metroid stuff. If not, it would just be completely devoid.
An important thing to do is to not feel like you have to buy things in this hobby.
Well, no, I wanted to buy things because I want to represent like my favorite franchises. And that's hard to do with Metroid.
Not if you just show off the games.
I mean, I do that as well.
I mean, yeah. I mean, the great thing about liking popular stuff is that, guess what? If you just want, like, you can get a whole glass case full of just, like, every Zelda game, and those games are, like, they're probably not cheap because they're Zelda, but, like, probably $40 each, right?
Yeah. Well, like, one of the things I have, like, my Samus opened, my Amiibo Samus opened, like, sitting there, so you got something to, like, I just did what I could, okay? Without having to buy, like, a bunch of junk. What I want, like, for collectibles, is I want big boxes like they do for Zelda with Metroid. I want them to put a little more emphasis on Metroid the franchise. Like oh, we did a steelbook for this one release. But, yeah, we put out a 3DS. No, man, give me some, like, cool pack-ins. I would take an Amiibo pack-in at this point. Give me anything.
An Amiibo pack-in? No.
Yeah. To get a big box Metroid game? Yeah.
Yeah, those boxes are kind of cool. Well, I mean, you have the PAL Big Box Super Metroid, because those were like $250. Not that that's cheap, but it's attainable.
And here's why I don't, because I feel like if I try to buy one PAL Big Box, then I'm going to want other PAL Big Boxes, and that's a slippery slope.
All right, we're going to do that. Starting the after show right now, Johnny. I'm looking up how much a Secret of Mana Big Box is on eBay Co. UK. Oh, there's...
Well, I mean, we still have to talk about what we're buying them.
Oh, no, I know. I'm just saying we're... Is this the big box? Oh, this is the regular version. Wait, there are big boxes that are cheaper than some regular versions? What is this crazy world, Johnny?
Well, it could be like Bomberman.
Oh, yeah, maybe. So anyway, there's a big box right now, 210 pounds, comes with a box protector. Buy it now.
Oof. Sounds really reasonable. Except I need to save all my money so I can afford Harry Potter cards.
That's true. Oh, that's the most expensive one. So now I'm scrolling down to cheaper ones, which there does not look like any other copies. Anyway, someone go buy that so Johnny can't have it and post it on Instagram.
Cool. Okay, now let's talk about, that's the end, right? You got any Zelda stuff you want to throw out?
I don't have anything else to talk about with Zelda.
Okay, so let's talk about if you bought anything. Did you buy anything?
Johnny, I bought all the Zelda games I don't have. Which, like, not even because of Zelda anniversary anything.
35th anniversary got you.
The 35th anniversary of Zelda got me. No, I was just doing my normal, like, basically going through my want list and prioritizing things and prioritizing things and prioritizing things, which is basically what I'm constantly doing all day. And Zelda Master Edition came up, and I'm just like, I go on eBay, and I remember like 2 years ago, there were more copies listed than there were now. They're still going for like $400 or $500, and I'm just like, I can't wait for the bubble to burst. That is not an accurate strategy in how to get the things I want. If Breath of the Wild Master Edition goes down in price, it will be after the next Nintendo console launch. Like, if the Switch ever becomes basically the Wii or the Wii U. On the other hand, Breath of the Wild, one of the most beloved games of all time, one of the most beloved Zeldas, like, a lot of people, I think, would put it in their top 3. I don't even know if it's in my top 3, but it's, like, super beloved, so I don't want to risk it becoming, you know, some crazy unobtainable thing. Anyway, point is, I bought Zelda Master Edition for the going rate, which is like $500. And like, you can only get them sealed. Well, I don't know. There was like incomplete ones or like bad condition ones. I just bought a sealed one because they're very easily available sealed. And it shipped totally fine. And it looked like there was a dent on the front, but it was just the guy took a shitty photo with the reflection and the lighting. Everything perfectly fine. It's so nice. I went and I bought like a $20 box protector for it.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm kind of jealous. I kind of want one.
And then, Johnny, I went and I bought the Zelda Breath of the Wild Special Edition because it's time to buy Switch games, even though I don't like the Switch, just to have every Zelda thing, Johnny. And what else did I buy? Like, I'm thinking about buying the Explorers Edition as well.
Wait, which one? Oh, yeah, I bought the Explorers Edition.
That was like a Black Friday thing. And I was like, who cares about that when it came out? And now I'm like, I like Breath of the Wild a lot. I should just get all the Breath of the Wild things. It's not that one day I'm going to want it. It's like I already want it. So
here's a little thing. So there's like, they make these Explorers Editions for a few games. I think there's one for Splatoon, Mario Galaxy, and Zelda.
Mario
and maybe
Galaxy.
One more. Not
like,
Galaxy,
I don't care. Like, maybe I'd get a Mario Odyssey one. Are they like expensive?
I don't know if they're expensive. I just think it's like a cool box size, and you know.
Yeah, they're all right.
And here's the other. So you can get, the Switch has a ton of like big box edition, like weird editions, but these are like hot Nintendo properties. These are like Nintendo proper stuff that everyone's going to want for all time. So like, it's got some cool little extras. I see zero reason not to buy these things.
Oh my God, Johnny, have we talked? Did I tell you I bought a Skyward Sword controller bundle on the last episode?
I don't.
Oh my God, this has been a horrible past 2 weeks.
Yeah. I don't know if you told me in the last episode or just privately, but yeah, I love that you finally, after all the talking, just bought one.
I bought it like the day before they announced the remake. So maybe good timing, maybe bad timing. I don't know how remakes affect original stuff like that.
I don't know.
But I basically was just like, what are like the greatest things in the world? It's like Mario and Zelda are my favorite franchises. I'm the most basic bitch ever. And I don't have like this stuff that is out there, and I'm buying like the most esoteric ZX Spectrum and Amiga shit, and it's just like, why don't I just have all the most like common out there Zelda limited edition stuff? It makes no sense. So I kind of fixed that. I bought the Link's Awakening Dreamer edition. I spent hundreds of dollars on Zelda stuff I don't need. I spent like $1,000 in the past month. I spent $1,000 on Zelda limited editions, Johnny.
Wow. I want the Dreamer edition. I didn't get it. And there's like an even better version, that Europe got or Japan got. It makes me so mad.
Like, I'm just focusing on the American stuff because I don't want to rebuy like all limited edition stuff for 2 regions. That sounds not fun. I don't like having this stuff to begin with. I'm only doing it for Breath of the Wild because Breath of the Wild is so damn good. And because I'm an idiot with Skyward Sword, and that totally like does not match up with the sentence I said before this one. Anyway, Johnny. Now,
did you buy the little amiibo to go with your Zelda Link's Awakening?
No.
You didn't get the Breath or the.
I was really flip-flopping on whether I wanted to buy the Link's Awakening Dreamer edition, but it's like the same price as when they were new. Like used copies are less than they were new. Like, this is not an exciting limited edition. People bought a lot of these. So because it was quote unquote cheap, I just bought one.
Wow. Oh, well, I want one of those. So I'm watching one now. I didn't get the Dreamer edition, but that box of Dreamer edition, that's like the same size as like the Explorer edition, I think.
I thought the Explorer stuff is a little smaller, right? I don't know. I'll
maybe
let you
it
know.
is. I don't have the Dreamers Edition, so I don't know. What does that come with? Like an art book? Something? Who cares?
I don't like that. It comes with an art book, but it also says on the front like what it comes with, and I feel like that makes it less special. That makes I don't know. Like
it makes it ugly.
Yeah, like
just
the Master Edition is just like F you. I'm Zelda. I don't even say what game I am on the front.
Yeah,
like that's awesome.
Big Z. Yeah, super good. And there was also like some dumbass pins that came with it if like you got it at the right time. Anyways,
I can't keep up with Nintendo's little giveaway tchotchke stuff. Like there's someone who's just like only collects Club Nintendo and pre-order stuff, and like power to you for keeping on top of all that stuff. Because I went through the Nintendo website today, and it's like, go to the Hyrule Warriors page and click all the hidden icons. And I had to do that like a ton of times because you don't get that many points for every time you do this. And then at the end of it, I got a Mario keychain, and it's like, great, now pay $5 shipping. And it's like, oh my God. I didn't realize I'd have to pay shipping, or I would have not have done this, but I've already wasted 45 minutes going through your little Quest Nintendo, so I paid $5 shipping for a keychain that's worth less than $5 to me.
Nice.
It's called the sunk cost fallacy.
Fallacy. Yeah, they got you.
They sure
sunk
did.
Sunk cost got you.
It's a cat Mario keychain. Like, if it was just a Mario keychain, I'd be like, all right, a Mario keychain, but it's a cat Mario keychain. Come on.
That's not that interesting.
Johnny, I got one more thing that everybody listening to this podcast right now can relate to. It is a review copy of SimCity for the Amiga. And you might remember, I already have an IBM PC review copy of SimCity. And I saw this on eBay, and I'm like, why is there another review copy of SimCity on eBay? And the Amiga and the Macintosh have the first edition of SimCity. This is the 1.0 version, and I thought that was very neat. This was already a thing that I've been searching for, a 1.0 SimCity, and I got a review copy of it. I don't know.
Nice.
It's neat. Just has a big yellow sticker that says review copy, not for resale. Never seen any other game do that.
No, I have not either.
All right, Johnny.
Cool. And anything else? Did you play anything?
Play games?
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
I don't know. I mean, sometimes people do that. I don't know when. I can't even.
You don't care. I played what's that new Viking survival game that's like Rust that my friends Valheim. Like, I play these games, and like everyone in the world is super into these games, and I just kind of don't get it. So,
okay.
I played Valheim, and I don't get modern games.
Good, great, good insight.
I
don't get.
Spent like 10 hours chopping down trees, Johnny. What do you want me to talk about? I built a log cabin and it collapsed because my framing wasn't good enough. You have to be like an architect to play this game. Like you can't snap your frame to your floors. You got to snap the floor to the frame, or it's all just gonna fall down under its own weight.
Wow. I don't even know what you're talking about. I'm sure it's a rant about Valheim or some, and
I think
some
every
procedural operation.
Like I don't know. I don't know, Johnny. I have no frame of reference for modern games. I think the kids just know how to build stuff. Like Fortnite, you see kids just like running around. They're like building pallets of wood like in the air as they're running. Like they just have this innate ability to build stuff in 3D space. And I think like I'm at the cutoff where I didn't make that. Like as a kid, I wasn't building stuff in 3D space. I wasn't playing Minecraft like as a kid. And I think kids are just better at like really good at building stuff. And I don't have that gene in me. I was born in the wrong generation, Johnny, is what I'm saying.
Okay. Well, I'm sorry that you were both old and young. You were Benjamin Buttoning both ways.
Johnny, please tell me something more interesting than a bunch of modern Zelda limited editions that will never be worth anything.
I love your purchases so much more than my purchases right now. Okay. So I bought a copy of Lord of the Rings, Fellowship of the Ring for the PlayStation 2. Because there's a version which has the card. Well, because there's this set of Lord of the Rings cards you can get. I was talking to VG Collectaholic. He told me there's 24. I want to make sure I have a couple of them. So there's a version of this game for the PS2 that comes with the CD. But much like, I don't know what was going on in PS2 days, on the front, it advertises that the CD. But if it came with a comic or a mini comic, for some reason, they would only put that like little splash on the back of the box. All the other consoles will tell you right up front, like free promo card inside. Not this one. So this one comes with the bonus CD and the card. But there's also a version that doesn't come with either of those things, just the game. And then there's a version that looks just like that, but comes with the card and it tells you on back. So I made sure I got all of those variants.
Great.
Yeah. Because I don't know if you know this, and I don't talk about it a whole lot on the show, but I like Lord of the Rings a lot because I am a huge nerd. I like the nerdiest of nerd things. Lord of the Rings, Harry Potter, Star Wars, this is my camp. That's where I live. I bought a sealed Harry Potter, a Sorcerer's Stone, just because I was like, all right, this one is the one I want. I'm going to just make sure I have this one sealed. And then it came from like a smoker's house and it just smells, so I had to wrap it up. And they shipped it in a bubble mailer.
Yep. That's weird, Johnny, for a game that you spent, what must it have been, $3,500?
I spent $90 on it.
Oh, $90.
Not
How about that?
Yeah, weird. Okay, so remember how I was talking about those Lord of the Rings cards that came with that game?
Yeah.
Well, then I found these other cards. Not the Hobbit cards, because the Hobbit also comes with cards. I'm going to drop some knowledge on you, some Hobbit knowledge. Okay, so the Hobbit, if you were getting it on the Xbox or PS2, came, or in GameCube even, came with a card. There's only 4 cards here. It's Bilbo, it's Gandalf, Smaug, and Gollum, right? That's it. Super easy. Pretty sure they all came on, you could get one of those cards on any of the systems you bought it for. But there was also a Hobbit released for the GBA. There was also the Lord of the Rings game released for the GBA, which also comes with a card. However, the Hobbit, the card comes for all the other versions, including PC on Lord of the Rings. The Hobbit, for some reason, on GBA does not come with a card.
Unless you put one in there.
Unless you put one in there. But there's no splash on it, nothing. Do you know what it does come with that none of the other editions come with? A poster. There you go.
A poster folded up into 2-inch squares.
Uh-huh. Now, you'd say, well, Johnny, you said it's not the Hobbit card, so what cards could I be talking about that are video game related? Well, are you familiar with the game Aragorn's Quest? You're not?
Whoa.
Okay, well, yeah, Aragorn's Quest came with some cards, and they're AR cards, but not really. The game didn't come with it. Nintendo Power advertisements and probably other magazines too. If you had the advertisement, it came with a card, and I think it starts on 259, maybe. Yeah, is it 259? I'm not sure if it's 259 or 258. I think it's 259, but there's 259, 260, 261, or 258, 59, and 60. I'm not sure which ones. There's 3 different cards. The first one is Balrog. Balrog also was a San Diego Comic-Con giveaway, just like a tchotchke giveaway that came sealed, rather than how in the Nintendo Powers, there's a print ad and then this card is stuck in the middle of it. And it's the same art that would be on the ad, but it's on a foil card instead. So there you go. Some don't specify that they're foil. All of the editions are foil. So there's only 3. There's Balrog, Aragorn, and Gandalf the White. There you go. And you can get those in Nintendo Power magazines if you care about things like Lord of the Rings like I do.
But Johnny, I don't want to collect Lord of the Rings. The Fellowship of the Ring game specifically, I remember being really terrible, which means it's not worth collecting.
Well, Aragorn's Quest is worse than that. But at least the PS2 one the CD comes with a great soundtrack by Howard Shore. So there's the thing.
I'll save my comment for after the show. It's a personal comment, Johnny. But
okay, you gonna attack Lord of the Rings right now?
That's it. Yes, I just wanted to attack it, and I just can't get into this right now.
It's because you have no patience, I assume. You can click. You're probably it's boring, but you can play RuneScape and click the same square 100 million times for 30 hours, and you're like, well, boring. Get out of here.
I've been RuneScape free for 2 or 3 weeks. I'm clean right now. I'm not going to get on that kick for another 6 months probably.
Yeah, and you could totally just watch Lord of the Rings Special Edition in one day. It's nice.
While I'm playing RuneScape, clicking trees.
So, yeah, it's something to do. In fact, you should fire up RuneScape so you have a reason to watch Lord of the Rings.
Oh, you're right.
Let me tell you about the last thing I purchased, and it's like a dumb variant thing. So, Terminator 3 Rise of the Machines for the Game Boy Advance. You heard of this thing? Okay, maybe not. Doesn't matter.
No.
Okay. It's not interesting. What is vaguely interesting about this is specifically Canadian variant alert. That's what this is. It's a Canadian variant. So a lot of Canadian variants, including on the PS2, on Xbox, GBA, I don't know about GameCube, but they came with a paper sleeve that goes over the box.
Jesus.
That puts the French language on it to cover up the US language.
That's kind of cool. I'm into that.
Yeah. So I mean, it's not like the thinnest paper, but it's not thick. It's not cardboard. I've got one for Resident Evil on PS2, and I saw one for Terminator. So I was like, I don't own this game yet, so I might as well pay like the $5 more and get this. Here's the crazy thing though. It came from Canada and it came in 3 days. I don't even know how that happened. I was like, whoa. Like when I buy stuff from Canada, typically, like the shipping wasn't $1 million because shipping from Canada right now, everyone's like $35. This guy was like $5 and it came in 3 days. I don't know what happened, but that was awesome and I got it. And it's it's not in the best shape. It's not like gem mint or anything, but it's an interesting variant. I'll put a post up showing its stupid sleeve sometime soon. Those are the things I bought.
I have no context for Canada because every time something's in Canada, it's like $17 shipping. And I'm like, sorry, guy. Hopefully there's a Canadian who wants that. Yep. Are there like lists of Canadian GBA games, though? Or things like that? Maybe it's just because I have researched this better myself. But there are like a bunch of guys who are like, here are all the Canadian Sega Genesis variants. They are super cool. Man, Canada Sega Genesis games. What an interesting curiosity. And for every other game, especially if it has like an ESRB logo or has 2 languages or something like that, people are like, oh, that's the Canadian version. Ew. Super Mario World from Canada? Ew. Who wants that?
Well, all the like red band, like you got the double seals on NES games. You got like the red band. I love the red band variant. I like Canadian variants that are just like the red band. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, on NES games, a lot of them came out and when the later games had this like red band that ran across the top of the box. In Canada, games that you didn't expect, like that we didn't have here with red bands, got red bands, like Final Fantasy. So there is a Final Fantasy double seal variant, and there's
by
a
double
red band
seal
variant.
You mean 2 seal of qualities, 2 Nintendo seal of qualities.
Yes, exactly. So, and then there's one that just has the 1 seal of quality and that red band across. And there's a couple other games too. That's like a weird variant set that I want to just like display one day is all the games I found for Nintendo with that red band across the top of it.
Johnny, to take us off topic one more time, do you know what one game that has a red band across the top is for the Nintendo Entertainment System? Ninja Gaiden 3.
Woo! Wario, I'm like Wario Woods.
Wario's Woods. That's it.
So, like a whole bunch of them actually.
Kickmaster.
Yeah, a lot of the title ones, the late release title. It's just later games that came with that. It was just a new packaging aesthetic. But Canada, like, I don't know if they were just some games were still being released, so they got that or not. Like, obviously that's not the first print of Final Fantasy in Canada.
Yeah, I know. I just think it like there's obviously people who have full lists of NES Canadian things. I just feel like the Genesis people I see are more interested in that. But I don't know.
Oh, they are. Well, they're like, Genesis cares more about that. Modern day Canadian variants make me want to die a little bit because it's just, I hate ESRB variants so very much.
Yeah.
I hate it.
Don't want
it. It is the bane of computers, right? Like it's the bane of a specific era of like Super Nintendo and Game Boy games where all these variants just happen because they're like, oh, we made an ESRB. So now these games have an ESRB. Then we changed the ESRB. So we got to change what's on the front of the box. That happened. And then computer games, just like technology was switching so fast. Then the ESRB is changing their rules for computer games. It's just a mess. I hate looking at it. Modern games, they changed the ESRB again not so long ago. So now a bunch of modern games have like variants of it too. I hate it. It's the worst.
They changed from like the pixel logo to the black logo. That was like 2000 or 2001 or something. And then they had a darker theme. They changed to a slightly lighter theme in like 2008 or 2009. Oh man, got to get all the variants. Especially like, I don't think anyone's looking for this stuff on like newer games. Like, do people care if they have, like, The Last of Us is one I always think about just because I hate that people are trying to sell like these copies they bought at the store for like $900. But do people care if they have the early ESRB copy of The Last of Us on PS3?
Yeah, I do. I do care a lot.
I like can't. I mean, I must have The Last of Us because I played it, but I have no idea what my version is. I need to box my PS3 stuff up and throw it away.
Sure, send it my way. I'll take it.
It's never happening. Come on.
I know, Tyler.
Come
on. It's a joke. It's a joke. Yeah, Tyler's never throwing anything away. All right. You got anything else? That was kind of it. I didn't play anything. This is what I've been doing. I've been researching, like in the wee hours. Haven't been sleeping well, so instead of sleeping, I'm reading up on dumb stuff like Lord of the Rings cards.
It's better than it could have been, Johnny. If it was a GBA racing game, I don't think I could take that. But I'm into cards, and I'm into hearing you talk about your licensed stuff you like.
I just wish I bought a cool Zelda thing. That I love when it's the best feeling when your collectible crosses over with a franchise you really love. You're like, yes, I'm spending this money, but at least it's something that's totally awesome. Not like obscure or weird. You're like, I love this series and I'm buying this thing. Hooray. I love that feeling.
I mean, it feels like to get it out of the way feels pretty good, but also at the same time, it's like, man, this thing did not go down in price, and I've been waiting years for it to go down in price. And yeah. So hopefully it goes down in price when the Switch is no longer the hottest thing on planet Earth. Because guess what, guys? Every system rotates, and then the previous generation system becomes garbage. So it'll be interesting when that happens on Switch, because everything on Switch is so goddamn common because Switch is so popular.
That's not true. Not everything on Switch is common.
Not everything. I just mean like the Mario Zelda.
Your Marios and your Zeldas, just don't worry about it.
Yeah.
All right.
It feels bad buying mass-produced stuff because I know it's mass-produced stuff, but man, it says Zelda on it, Johnny.
I know.
And it's a video
I'm not gonna fault
game.
you. Yeah, it's great. Feels good. Feels good to buy Zelda stuff. I just said so.
I know.
Yeah. All right. You got anything else? We're going to wrap it up?
Let's wrap it up.
Okay. So, Tyler, where are we going to find you on the social medias?
Video Game Sage, Instagram. Just message me on Instagram. Default GEN.
Or they could find you on Discord under the name Tyler on our server.
I'm also Tyler. Yes.
Yeah, because we have a Patreon for this show. If you don't know, we have a Patreon. It's, there's 3 tiers. It's $2, $4, or $6. On the $4 and $6 tier, you get some bonus content that we throw out from time to time. We are very active there. The thing you get the most is the community and some interaction with us. So if you can afford to do so, please go ahead and support us. If you can't, please don't. If you just hate Patreons and just not going to do it, then don't do it. I'm not going to fault you. We're still going to deliver to you this very same show. So please keep enjoying us. But if you'd like to come over, hang out on the Patreon, see what we're doing over there on Discord, and then join us. It's a good time. We got a lot of good people over there. Also, can't forget to mention official sponsor of the game, of the show, Ride the Game Shark at Cheap Games, where you should buy all of your imports. You can find his store on eBay.
He's got a cardboard Sonic 2 for sale, guys. That's a cool variant that we've talked about on the show.
I kind of want to buy it from him so I have an extra.
Is it in nice condition? Mine could use an upgrade.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Mine's like really bad
now, Johnny.
Yeah, well, let's race. No, anyways, go support Red. He is great, and he has great prices, and he's got lots of knowledge too. So if you need to know something, you could also message him and ask him. He's so much. He embarrasses us all the time on all the things he knows, and we're like, I think it's like this, and he just comes in and corrects us. We actually have a lot of great people like that who are on our Patreon. So you just got a good collective with people full of knowledge. So come hang out and join us if you want. Anyways, You can also find Stefan, who wasn't here today. He's the Art of NP on Twitter. If you just, that's not the full thing, but if you Google Art of Nintendo Power on Twitter or Art of NP, you will find him. Go check his stuff out. He's also got a YouTube channel under the same name. You can find him at Archon1981 on Instagram. And you can find me, Johnny_Iucci, pretty much on Instagram and the Discord, occasionally on Video Game Sage, and sometimes I even throw up a YouTube video. As much as I don't like YouTubers and I hate YouTube face, I think that Tyler said the next one I have to do YouTube face, and some of the criticisms of my last videos I didn't show my face. So maybe next time I'll show my face and I'll do YouTube face in my thumbnail picture, because everyone loves that so much. Yes, I need to know your reaction to the video or how you feel about it in the thumbnail, so I have no reason to watch the stupid video. Thank you. That's great. It's perfect. So stupid. And then they're like, but please watch to the end of the video because it really helps me in the algorithm. Then don't put your stupid end all
Make your video interesting.
Right,
don't make it full of filler and ask me to subscribe.
Yeah. Smash the like button. Hey, YouTube. God, shut up.
Put up the animation that shows a mouse cursor clicking the subscribe so it doesn't interrupt the video at all. It's just like, all right, they got to do that, but yeah, just do that.
Yeah, oh, God. And think of a better intro than, hey, YouTube. Hey, YouTube.
I'm subscribed to like 400 YouTube channels. I subscribe to every channel that puts out interesting content, no matter how consistent. I don't care if you ask me to subscribe. I'm going to subscribe if your videos are good.
Yeah, and I might be guilty of doing the hey YouTube thing because I don't know if there's a better intro, but it is super annoying. Everyone does it. All right, that's it for the show.
Nope, Johnny, I have to interrupt. I was waiting for you to say that. I do have one more thing.
Oh,
I told him I would mention it on the show, and I think it is super good. Worst record account ever on Instagram messaged me and told me he's a record collector, and
okay.
He was listening to the Pack-In episode and wanted to show me a Pack-In, and it is awesome. It is...
Okay, what is it?
Cruise Chaser Blasty for the PC 88 in Japan. I think it was on other platforms. It might be on like MSX. It is Square's third game that they ever made. It comes with a Pack-In record of the soundtrack. It's a flexi-disc record. It looks like an 8-inch record. I'm just looking at a picture of it. And it is Nobu Uematsu's first physical recording. And that is super cool. And I don't, it was like a 3D Gundam first person like maze game or something. I don't remember what the game is. Cruise Chaser Blasted, you can look it up. But it was like 1986. So somewhat early Pack-In.
Yeah, that's pretty early.
It's also absolutely rare as and I could not find one for sale or one that had sold anywhere on the internet. So good luck finding it.
Awesome.
Editing Tyler here. One more correction. So I was actually looking at a seller stock of unrelated computer games, and I saw a Cruise Chaser Blasty, and it was like $50. The problem is I was looking for the Japanese name of Cruise Chaser Blasty, and this was spelled in English, but like completely different spelling than is actually on the box. So when I said it's rare as it could just be because I was searching for the entirely wrong thing. I don't think anyone is like, oh my God, I gotta go buy Cruise Chaser Blasty, but don't like go thinking this game is absolutely impossible to find. It looks like it's literally $50. All right.
Okay. So now officially that's it for the show. Thank you very much for listening. Sorry for whining at you at the end there. And that's it. Bye.
And I wanted to start shouting out patrons on the show. I'm honestly humbled at how many of you there are. It is amazing. You are the most generous, biggest fans, people with the coolest game collections on the planet. And let me start reading your names so I can hopefully get a few in before people shut off the podcast. Richard Bowden, Will Joe, Andrew Brim, Andre, VG Collectaholic, Chris, Lance Zielgman, Brian Mora, Benji, Corey O'Brien, Red the Game Shark, we don't need to talk about him, Tim Walker, M. Pitts, Jasonic the Kid, Retro Game Enthusiast, Cartmageddon, Dustin Beagle, SNK 2D Forever, Chris Glidden, Tom Chase, Colton Murphy, Cole, Bennett Bernardoni, Retro RPG Podcast, who is Blaine J. I don't know if you just changed your name to that to get a free shout out. Here it is. Tex, Chris Jackson, Jeremy Jarvis, Justin Cicchino, Bird Dog Gaming, Daniel McCardle, Michael Chiaramonte, Andrew O, and Joseph Chimpiti. Thank you guys so much.